Okay, year 10, we're about to move on to some more equations. So these, in exercise 9b, we start dealing with equations that have brackets, fractions, and pronumerals on both sides. So there's a whole lot of different ways you can do these, and the best way depends on what sort of thing you've got. So we're going to just go straight into it. So I'm going to do question 3. Remember, you're meant to do the first column. I'm going to do the first column. You see if you can do it by yourself. There are 2 ways to do this, but one way is a lot harder than the other. So here's question 3A. Now remember, what is our strategy with doing these things? And you need to just keep referring to the success criteria. And remember, the success criteria goes like this. So I'll just go back to our Google Classroom, and you can see, come on, I want to let me see it. There it is. So here we go. So we're learning to solve linear equations. I recognise an equation. It has an equal sign. I can solve equations, and here's the key, by doing the inverse operation in the reverse order. I can solve equations with pronumerals on both sides of the equation by adding or subtracting the smaller term. We'll come to that in a minute. And remember, you can always check your answer by substituting it back into the original equation. So let's go and have a look at these. So we're doing the inverse operation. Essentially, we're trying to get everything away from the x. We're going to try and isolate this x by getting the 2 and the 3 away from it. So over here, let's have a crack at it. So we've got 3x plus 2 equals 9. Now, what I'm going to do? Some people will tell you to expand that, and that is a way you can do it. So expand those brackets, but that's just creating extra work. I don't want you to do that. You want to get rid of that 3. Now remember, that 3 is being multiplied. So to get rid of it, we're going to divide by 3, and we're going to divide by 3. And that gets rid of it on the left-hand side. Some people like to think, or I'll move that 3 across by doing the inverse operation, which is dividing. Same thing. So I get x plus 2 equals 3. And you're going to say, what happened to the parentheses? Well, I don't need them anymore, because the parentheses were there to say multiply everything inside the brackets by 3. We've got rid of the 3. We don't need the parentheses anymore. And now I just minus 2. And I go, x equals 1. Let's just double check this by putting it back in. Let's double check. So 3, well, we put the 1 in where the x is. 1 plus 2. Does it equal 9? Well, use your calculator. 3 times bracket, 1 plus 2, close the bracket. Hopefully it equals 9. It does. We're right. So these are pretty easy. Let's go on. B. 4a minus 2 equals 12. Again, divide the 4. Now I'm going to do it the other way. I'm just going to say, okay, a minus 2 equals 12 divided by 4. So a minus 2 equals 3. Now I'm going to add the 2. A equals 3 plus 2, which equals 5. Now, remember, how you set it out is going to be up to you. Some of you will be going, I prefer to do this. I'm going to do it to both sides. So I'm going to divide by the 4. That gets rid of it. That gives me a minus 2 equals 12. And then I'm going to add the 2. Sorry, I can't even do division. 3. I'm going to add the 2, and I'm going to get a equals 5. I'm quite happy for you to do it. So you don't even need those red bits if you know what you're doing. Okay, so the next one. G. What have I got? 6m minus 3 equals 6. Divide by the 6. M minus 3 equals 1. Because if I divide by 6, I get 1. Add the 3. M equals 4. That's how I write them. So you can write the red line. You can show what you're doing by moving it over. But this is good enough. As long as you don't mess it up. Now what they've done with the next one in J is they've put the pronumeral on the other side. You can just immediately write it the other way round. 10 outside of A plus 2 equals 20. You can just do that. I'm going to write it the way they write it because it doesn't worry me. 20 equals 10A plus 2. Divide by the 10. This time I'm going to write it in. So divide by 10, divide by 10. I get 2 equals, I don't need the brackets anymore because the 10 is gone, so I just get A plus 2. I minus the 2, 0. Now, isn't that unusual? Let's just double check that. Put it back in. 10 times 0 plus 2. Does that equal 20? Double check. 10 times 0 plus 2. 20. Yes, it does. We're happy. Right, I'm going to create some space for myself. And we'll do question 4. Now, here in question 4, you are going to have to expand these. So this is going to take a fair bit of work. I'm not going to do all of these. You do as many as you can. You should be able to do the first column, and it's going to be the same in question 5. So I'm going to do the first and the last. So I get 3 outside of 2x plus 3 plus 2 outside of x plus 4, and that equals 25. Now, I can't just divide because I've got 2 terms here and I won't get rid of the 2 and the 3 if I just divide. So this time, I'm going to have to expand. I'm going to have to multiply the 3 by those 2, and I'm going to have to multiply the 2 by these 2. So, 3 times 2x, 6x. 3 times 3, plus 9. 2 times x, 2x. 2 times 4, 8 equals 25. So there's a fair bit of algebra to do before we move on. So I'm going to have to add the like terms. I'm going to have to add the 6x and the 2x, which gives me 8x. I'm going to have to add the 9 and the 8. 9 plus 8, 17. And now it's a very easy equation. I minus the 17. And I get 8x equals 8. And I divide by the 8. And I get x equals 1. This would be a good one to check. So I go to my calculator and I go 3 times, and what did I say x was equal to? 1. So 2 times 1. Remember there's a times between that 2 and that x, plus 3. Close the brackets. Plus 2 times brackets x, well that's just 1, plus 4. Now, if I've put that all in correctly and I've got the right answer, I should be okay. 25, it works. Righto. So, I'm not going to do all of them, as I said. I'm going to do G now. So, G is going to be a little bit harder because it's got negatives in there. But that's okay, we can deal with those. So what have I got? 2x minus 4 plus 3x minus 1 equals, and look at this, we've got a negative 21. Don't let us scare you, it's just a number. First thing, let's expand this. 2 times that and 2 times that, and then 3 times that and 3 times that. Be careful of the signs. 2 times x, 2x. 2 times minus 4, minus 8. 3 times x, 3x. 3 times minus 1, minus 3, equals negative 21. Okay, I have to collect the like terms. Well, I can add the x's. 2x plus 3x, that's 5x. This is where you've got to be very careful. Minus 8, minus 3. So it's minus 8 degrees, and we minus another 3 degrees, minus 11. Now you can do that on your calculator. So just go minus 8, answer, minus 8 minus 3, and you get negative 11. So if you're ever unsure, straight to your calculator. Now I've got a really simple equation. I add that 11 over the other side. So that'll give me 5x. I wonder what minus 21 plus 11 is. Go to your calculator. Negative 21. Negative 21 plus 11. Negative 10. Divide by the 5. Again, use your calculator. I don't need to. I know it's negative 2. This is probably a very important one to check on our calculator. So what do we got? Let's clear all that. 2. I don't think I need the times between the brackets. I think the calculator understands that. Now I've got negative 2 minus 4 plus 3 bracket negative 2 minus 1. And I'm hoping that that equals negative 21. And it does, so we're feeling pretty good. So you're following all the success criteria to achieve success here. That's what success criteria are all about. Solve the equation by doing the inverse operation in the reverse order. Get your answer, see if your solution matches. So let's create a little bit of space now because we'll move on to 5. So these are hard. If you're having trouble, don't despair. Just keep pushing ahead. If you don't get them all done, don't worry. Do the best you can. So here's 5. What have I got? The first one, 3 outside of 2x plus 4 minus 4 outside of x plus 2 equals 6. Now this is going to be hard because of this minus here, but you should be okay. So what am I going to do? I'm going to go 3 times that and 3 times that, and I'm going to go, now this is the hard part, minus 4 times that and minus 4 times that. And that's going to be the hard bit. So let's rock. Well, 3 times 2x, well that's 6x. 3 times 4, 12. Minus 4 times x, minus 4x. Minus 4 times positive 2. Now, if you're unsure, use your calculator. And go minus 4 times 2, negative 8. You should know. And that's the big danger, getting that sign right and getting this sign right. That's a big danger. Now, I can do the x's. So I can do 6x minus 4x, and that's just 2x. And here's the other one. I've got plus 12 minus 8. So I've got 12 minus 8. Well, that's 4. Plus 4 equals 6. Minus the 4, 2x. 6 minus 4 equals 2. Divide by the 2, x equals 1. And again, you can check, but I'm just going to use the answers in the back of the book. And I've got them on my other computer. So, and we're looking at question 5a. The answer is x equals 1. Let's do 5g because I'm not going to do them all. You should be able to have a go at them yourself. This is going to be a good one to do. So I've got 5 outside of 2x plus 1 minus 3 x minus 3 equals 35. Righto. Again, this negative is going to be difficult. Let's see what we get when we go 5 times that and 5 times that. and negative 3 times that, and negative 3 times negative 3. Please use your calculator if you have trouble with that. So 5 times 2x, well, that's 10x. 5 times 1, just 5. Minus 3 times x, minus 3x. Now remember I said if you're having trouble, bang, just put it into your calculator. So get rid of the answer. Minus 3 times minus 3. Positive 9. Okay, so I get plus 9 equals 35. Now tidy it up. I can go the x's, 10x minus 3x, well that's easy, 7x. And I've got plus 5 plus 9 plus 14 minus the 14 divide by the 7. And check your answer in the back of the book and we're right. Righto. Now, pronumerals on both sides. Pronumerals on both sides. This is really easy as long as you remember. So 7x equals 2x plus 10. Now, the key here, you've got to get, now you can either think about putting all the x's on one side, which is a really cool way to do it. I need to move the x's. Now, when you move them, move the smaller one. So you can take 2 x's from both sides, yeah? Or you can think I'm going to minus the 2x over to the other side. Either way, it doesn't matter. So if I minus 2x and I minus 2x from both sides, that'll leave me with 5x here, because 7x minus 2x is 5x. And this 2x, it's gone. And I'm just left with 10. Now I divide by the 5. And I get x equals 2. I'm going to do a couple of these because these are the most difficult ones. So the next one. What have I got? 6x equals 2x plus 80. So this is D. 6x equals 2x plus 80. Well, minus the 2x. All right, always do the smaller one. Minus 2x. So minus the 2x, minus the 2x. Take it away. That gives me 4x equals 80. Divide by the 4. And I get x equals 20. Double check your answers in the other side, and we're right. You can check it by substituting it in. I'm not going to do all these. I'm just going to go to the last one because it's written a bit funny. So I've got 12 plus 4x equals 6x minus 10. So this is J. 12 plus 4x equals 6x minus 10. Before you do anything else, you've got to get rid of the x's on one side and always get rid of the smaller one. So I'm going to minus 4x because it's the smaller of the two. Doesn't matter, the pronumerals on the other side. And the x's on the left-hand side disappear, so I'm just left with 12 because 4x minus 4x is 0. 6x, take away 4x, is 2x minus 10. Add the 10, and I get 22 equals 2x. Remember the 10 disappears. 10 minus 10 plus 10, it's going to disappear. Then I divide by 2. And I get 11 equals x. Now, I want to see if there was one with a minus x. Yes. So, I'm going to do K and L. So I'll create some space. So here I go with k. 9x equals 10 minus x. Now to move this, I don't take it away because it's being minused. I've got to add x. I've got to add x. A lot of people like to think, oh, I'm going to add it over to the other side. Some people still like the idea of going, I'm adding x to both sides. So that will give me 10x. And when I add x to this side, it goes. And I'm just left with 10. Divide by the 10, x equals 1. Right, why don't you have a go at the next one while I create some space? If you're good, you'll have it done by the time I get there. Right, so here we go. L, 1 minus x equals x plus 3. And you're going, oh no, which one's the smaller one? Because remember, that's 1x and that's 1x. Aren't they the same size? No. Remember, smaller, when we're talking with maths, we talk about direction. Well, this one is negative 1x. It's smaller than positive 1x. So you need to move this one or get rid of it. Well, how do you do that? Well, remember the two ways. You can think, I'm just going to add x to both sides. Or if you're a person who likes to think, I'm going to move it. When I move it, I add x over to this side. It doesn't matter which way you're doing it, as long as you are consistent. So on the left-hand side, on this side, if I add the x, I'm left with 1. And 1x plus another x, well, that's 2 x's. And I've got plus 3. All right, now I have to get everything away from the x, so I have to minus the 3. And don't let the fact that you're going to get a negative number worry you. So you get negative 2 equals 2x. Just use your calculator. You're still doing the same thing. You're dividing by 2. And when you divide by 2, use your calculator. Negative 2 divided by 2. Negative 2 divided by 2, negative 1. And that's the answer to 6L. Righto, last ones. Question 7. Righto, there's only 3 here. Let's have a go. X plus 2 on 3 equals 5. Now let's remember what we're trying to do. We're trying to get all the things away from the x so that the x is by itself. And you just have to make sure that you do it in the right order. So what are you going to do first? Are you going to get rid of that 3 or are you going to get rid of that 2? Well, normally if you were just doing this as a sum, you'd do the top and then divide by the bottom. But because this is an undressing, we're going the reverse order. We're going to get rid of that 3 first and then get rid of that 2. So we're going to multiply by 3 and multiply by 3. And multiplying by 3 gets rid of it on the left-hand side. So we're just left with x plus 2. And 3 times 5, 15. And now I minus the 2. That gets rid of it on the left. And the x is now by itself. I've taken all the things off and away from the x. And 15 minus 2 is 13. Let's use our success criteria. Number 4, check by substituting back in. So I've got a fraction and I've got, what did we say it was? Well, we think x is 13 plus 2 and it's all over 3. That's what we think. And if that works, it should equal 5. Yes, it does. Go to D. You have a go at it before I do it. X minus 5 over 3 equals 2. All right, well, what do? Again, I multiply by the 3. I'm going to use the other method. I'm going to go, oh, I'll move that over there times the 3. If you like that method, that's good for you. X minus 5 equals 6. And now I'm going to move this 5 over here, and I'm going to add the 5. And I get, x equals 6 plus 5 is 11. It doesn't matter which way you do it. If you like to do it by doing things to both sides, if you like to think I'm moving them away from the x, so multiply the 3, then add the 5, same result. Okay, the last one. If you are really smart or just plain lazy, as I know some of you may be, you don't even have to write anything if you know what you're doing. 9 equals 5x minus 3 over 3. So I'm going to do this the way that I would do it. I just go multiply the 3 across. I don't have to write it. 3 times 9, 27. I get 5x minus 3. Add that 3, 30 equals 5x. Divide by 5, 6 equals 5. X, 6 equals 5. Come on. Doesn't matter that the power numeral's on the left or on the right. So what did I do? I times by 3, times by 3. You don't need to write if you don't want to. I added 3 and added 3, and I divided by 5, and I divided by 5. So you can either write those things or you don't have to. All right. Good luck.